In July of 2023, I started doing one simple thing that would soon change my life in a way that I never really expected. And it all started with one simple tool. I'm going to share with you what the simple tool is, how it really changed my sort of level of happiness/contentment, and I'll explain how it can also help keep you off your phone. And if you're someone who struggles with creativity, then definitely stick around because at the end I'll explain how this tool can also help with creativity. What is the tool? Something I've struggled with for a long time is procrastination and memory. I've always had a hard time getting things done, and in particular, I've had a difficult time acting on my ideas. I would always have ideas of things I could do, but I usually couldn't bring myself to do them. It's not even that I didn't want to do them, it was just that I couldn't bring myself to do them. And this procrastination often led to me forgetting the idea or task entirely, and so I'd ultimately never end up doing it.
I think of a great new video idea along with some specific things that I'd want to mention in the video and also some shot and thumbnail ideas. And I'd tell myself, that's such a great idea. I'll remember that.
Yeah, I forgot. Maybe I didn't forget the general idea, but all those specific ideas for the things I wanted to explain in the video, gone. Can't remember. Even in the context of self-discovery, I would always forget any significant realizations I had made. For example, I'd be going for a walk and I'd just be kind of pondering, as most of us do. And I'd realize something about myself, like, wait, maybe I'm the problem for reasons X, Y, and Z. And I'd feel great because I had made such a life-changing realization. And then I'd continue my walk and I'd get home and I'd sit down and wait. What were those reasons again? X, V, and what was the last one? After dealing with this for so long, I decided to finally use some painfully simple advice that I had been fed for pretty much my whole childhood. I don't really know why I kept ignoring this advice for so long, but I finally decided to give in and buy a notebook. But I didn't just use this notebook for the purpose of not forgetting my ideas. I used it for everything. Any realizations, ideas, mistakes, goals, or even reminders, I wrote it all down. And doing this, in a way, made me happier, or at least more content. How did this make me happier?
Now, this first reason is a little bit obvious, but the last few are things I feel like a lot of people don't talk about.
As I was constantly battling with this issue of procrastination and forgetfulness, it would make me feel pretty worthless. Imagine coming up with this amazing new idea. Thinking about the idea gets you excited, because it ultimately gives you a sense of purpose, even if it's only temporary. Now imagine you forget the idea entirely. Well, now you've effectively just removed your purpose. I think most of us would feel pretty bad about this. I know I did. Or even worse, imagine you're in a rough place in life and you're trying to figure your stuff out, and then all of a sudden you hear this great piece of advice, like, I don't know, take one step each day. And let's say this advice completely changes your outlook on life. You're feeling better, you feel like you can finally move forward, but then one day you just kind of blank on it. Wait, how did that quote go again? That probably sucked pretty bad given that it had such a big impact on you.
Like I said before, these things are arguably a little bit obvious, but there are a couple other reasons that I feel like people don't talk about too much.
When you write something down, it almost takes a weight off your shoulders. You no longer have to worry about remembering the idea. You can just write it down and forget about it. For me personally, this reduces a lot of stress when I have all these ideas or realizations. When I think of them, I just write it down and say, okay, I don't need to worry about that anymore. I can come back to it later. And that's something I don't think many people talk about.
And I have yet to even mention that writing things down just straight up helps you remember them better.
I'm sure you've heard this before, but having the ability to recall things that were important enough for me to write down definitely helped in reducing the stress of mine as well. So you're really killing two birds with one stone. You're reinforcing your memory of important things while also reducing the pressure of constantly trying not to forget the thing until the moment that you need it. And on top of all that, if you're going through something potentially emotional, writing down what you're thinking and feeling helps to process what's going on inside your head and can possibly help you reach some new realizations. This is all great, but how can this cure my scrolling addiction?
There's a few different ways that writing things down can keep you off your phone.
Back in November of 2022, I was struggling to find purpose in my life. I was pretty lost and I was just trying to find ways to make money, thinking that that would fill the void. I had a lot going through my head, so I decided to start what I called my thoughts log. This was a pretty big mistake. While my head was in the right place, my one mistake was that I decided to write these things down on my phone, or rather type them. not realizing that typing these things out was basically useless in comparison to actually writing them.
Typing it out did not help me retain the information at all. And even though it did give me a physical database to go back to if I needed to remember anything,
I soon forgot that I even started doing it in the first place, hence defeating the entire purpose. But nonetheless, as I opened my phone to look for the Notes app to type out some thoughts, I scrolled right past TikTok. Next thing you know, an entire hour has gone by, all because I got distracted from my original objective. Around this same time while I was struggling, I remember constantly searching for a new purpose or a new idea. With every passing day, I searched and searched, but I never found anything. And the reason for this was pretty simple. I was looking in the wrong place. Something I used to do all the time was look for some sort of new idea or new purpose through scrolling, thinking eventually TikTok would give me a video that'd spark a new idea. And to no one's surprise, I never found anything.
My point being, not only will typing things out not benefit you nearly as much as writing it down in a notebook,
but you'll likely get distracted by one thing or another just by being on your phone. Something I've noticed while writing things down is not only do I remember the important things or ideas better, and not only does it keep me off my phone for a while, but while I'm writing, it kind of puts me in this zone. A zone where ideas can be born. So how does this tool help grow your creativity? As I started writing things down, I noticed something pretty interesting. I'd write one thought down and read it back, which led to another thought, which led to another, and another. Not realizing what was actually going on, I felt pretty good. Next thing you know, I had a whole page of new ideas. I was kind of shocked, like damn, I just filled up an entire page in like 5 minutes.
note-taking enables you to kind of freeze your thoughts before they fade away. During moments of creative inspiration, it can be kind of easy to lose sight of your ideas.
By jotting down notes, you can freeze those thoughts before they vanish and delve into them at a later time.
Which kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about how it can kind of reduce the stress or relieve the stress of trying to hold on to a thought for a while.
Writing things down also aids in recognizing patterns and connections. Note-taking allows you to see correlations and patterns between your ideas, potentially sparking fresh insights and new breakthroughs.
This happened to me a couple times while I was kind of feeling down and depressed. Writing things down helped me kind of see connections between different things, which in turn would help me figure out why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And sometimes it would run a little bit deeper than I expected, but that's kind of the benefit of writing it down, right?
One of those is fine. So in the end, just remember that even if you have a great idea that you think you'll remember, trust me, you won't. Pull out your notebook, jot it down, and get that weight off your shoulders. Soon you'll realize that this simple little thing has helped you in ways you never thought possible. And honestly, who knows? Maybe you'll stumble upon your new purpose.